Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. This is Gina. Well, the plot thickens with this whole Alex Morse thing. For anybody who hasn't listened to the previous podcasts or watched the videos, I'll just give you a quick breakdown and catch you up to speed. So as I've mentioned on the show, Alex Morse is the current mayor of Holyoke, Massachusetts. He's running against incumbent corporate Democrat Richard Neal, and he apparently, from everything that is now being revealed, he is the target of a political hit job. So what's now been revealed is the Massachusetts Democratic Party, so the state Democratic Party, has now been caught taking part in this smear campaign against progressive candidate Alex Morse. The same Massachusetts Democratic Party, who has a mandate, it's literally part of their bylaws that they do not get involved in primaries. So where there are primary challengers going up against the incumbent, they are supposed to remain objective. They are to remain neutral. They are not supposed to take sides or sway the election in any way, shape, or form. Well, apparently they didn't follow those bylaws. As I mentioned before, students at the University of Massachusetts, they were part of this College Democrats group, and they have been found, based on text messages and other information, they have been plotting to discredit Morse and destroy his campaign. Yeah, so new plot twist. 5 different sources within the Massachusetts State Democratic Party revealed to The Intercept investigative journalists that state party leadership was actually involved in helping these college students to craft and execute this attack on Alex Morse. And it's not just allegations. They actually have corroborating evidence in the form of text messages and phone records between the two groups. So among the documents is proof showing that Massachusetts Democratic Party executive director, Veronica Martinez, and the party's chairperson, Gus Bickford, helped to connect these college students with multiple attorneys, but one in particular was a man by the name of Jim Roosevelt. He's described in this article as, quote, a power broker within the state and national Democratic parties. He's also someone who has contributed to Richie Neal's campaign, not a lot of money, not, an exorbitant amount. So I will make that clear and be honest about that. But he's had multiple run-ins with members of the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, including Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And this one piece that I'm about to share with you, I think this tells you everything you need to know about Mr. Roosevelt and why he's on team corporate Democrat, establishment Democrat. He's the former CEO for Tufts Health Plan, which is a major health insurance company. So, of course, all of these corporate Democrats take money from the insurance companies, and you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. They play favorites. They do favors for each other. They refuse to enact Medicare for all because, we wouldn't want to put these billion and trillion dollar corporations out of work. We wouldn't want to save lives and help the American people when we can help our donors at the insurance companies. And they wouldn't want progressives to come in and end the corruption between the insurance companies and lawmakers. I mean, it's that simple. So it's pretty easy to see what team Roosevelt plays for. But these attorneys, including Roosevelt, assisted the students in drafting the letter that started this entire public smear campaign. So the letter, for those of you who aren't caught up to speed, basically alleged that Morse had in some way acted inappropriately. They claimed that he was using their public events, like attending their public events, to meet college students and come on to them and date some of them. They didn't give any specifics, and then they later had to admit that actually, in reality, he had only attended one of their events. So, what has now come to light is that there's phone records and text messages showing that the executive director for the state Dem party, so Ms. Martinez that I mentioned, she reached out to and contacted these college Democrats multiple times starting in late July and as recently as just this last Thursday. Now, they kind of alluded to the fact that there could be communication prior to late July, but the intercept didn't have anything dating further back than that. So what was she saying, right? Was she scolding them? Was she admonishing them for trying to smear a fellow Democrat? No. The text messages show that Martinez was strategizing with the students prior to and after the release of their letter regarding Morse. And they also reveal that she coached them on how to respond to and interact with the media. So she was involved, right? This woman who's supposedly, executive director, she's one of the leadership of the state Democratic Party in Massachusetts, who's supposed to stay neutral, is clearly taking part in this. And this is based on irrefutable evidence. So if that's not bad enough, here's it just shows you how underhanded and two-faced, these people are. So when news broke last week about the college students and how they had essentially planned and executed this political hit job against Morse, like the evidence was coming out, text messages were being released, and people were coming forward to voice their concerns and tell what they know. Gus Brickford, so the party chair, he announced that, he feigned concern, and he announced that he was going to call for an investigation to, quote, examine the conduct of college Democrats who leveled the allegations against Morse. So a guy who's been involved in these allegations and this smear campaign and political hit job, now he's calling for an investigation because we got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get to the bottom of what I and Ms. Martinez helped them do to this man, and in using anti-LGBTQ smears and tropes to discredit him and destroy his lifelong career in politics. So, never once did he or Martinez mention that they were working with the students. And, I was like, okay, well, what if they really believed that Morse was doing something wrong, right? I had that thought. Well, that was put to rest because they never once inquired about these allegations. They never reached out to Morse. They never launched an investigation into his supposed actions. And when the media asked Morse if he had ever been contacted by anybody at the state party about any of these allegations, he said never. And there's no documentation showing that they have. And they haven't come forward and said, oh, well, we heard about it and we tried to take action and we were going to investigate. So clearly they knew there was nothing there. They knew these allegations were bogus. Otherwise, they would have done something about it. And now they're trying to backfill the hole and cover it all up. So Richie Neal still claims he had no knowledge, had no involvement, no knowledge of this nefarious plot. But guess what? So the Intercept found out that someone on Capitol Hill, and they just described them as a Capitol Hill Democrat. They didn't provide a name. I'm sure they want to remain off record. But it's someone who works closely with Richie Neal's Ways and Means Committee. So this person had a conversation with a senior staff member of Richie Neal earlier this year. And in that conversation, this Capitol Hill person asked Richie Neal's senior staff member if Neal or that person was concerned about Morse, if they were concerned about this progressive challenge to his seat. And this is I mean, it couldn't be more clear. Richie Neal's senior staff members told this person that they weren't concerned because, quote, the young mayor was known to have slept with college students and that information would emerge at the right time. Really? So Richie Neal's office had no idea that this smear campaign was going to be launched, that they were actively trying to sabotage this young man's political career and undermine his campaign against Neal. But his senior staff member knew months ago, earlier this year, that these allegations were out there and they were going to be used against him at the, quote, right time. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is look at Richie Neal's history, look at his resume, the fact that he literally takes more corporate PAC money than anyone else in Congress, including Republicans. That pretty much tells you who he is. It tells you what he's all about and how low he's willing to stoop. And now it appears they're all trying to throw each other under the bus. The college students claim that they wanted to keep the letter to Morse just between him and the group, but that the attorney, Roosevelt, pushed them to publicize it and said that it would be more effective if they made it public. Martinez and Brickford claim that they just simply referred the college students to the attorney. And, from then on, they were hands off. They had no involvement after that, which is clearly proven to be a lie based on documented evidence. And Roosevelt declined to comment. So the Intercept reached out to him. He said, no, I won't comment on matters involving clients. And really, I want to know who paid this guy. Because are you telling me this guy, Roosevelt, is a descendant of Roosevelt? Okay, he's very well known as described. He's a power broker. The guy obviously would not come cheap. I guarantee you the guy charges probably upward of, I can't say for sure, but I wouldn't be shocked to find that he charges $500 or more an hour. How are college students paying him for his time? Who's paying him? I would like to know that. That really could put a lot to rest. And if he's doing it pro bono, why? Why? I mean, does he go out and help abused women? Does he help with matters of climate justice and people who don't have enough to eat, or people who are on the verge of being evicted? Or does he help with things like that for free? No, probably not. Probably not. But he found it in his heart. He has a big enough heart to help with a smear campaign against a young gay man to destroy his career. And then what's also come out and what's clear is that this story was shopped around for quite some time. So as far back as April is what they found. So according to 3 different sources who spoke with The Intercept, members of this UMass College Democrat group told members of their affiliated high school Dem group. So there's a group in the high school age that's connected to this Dem group. They told high school members that they were planning to sabotage Morse's campaign. So this was thought out in advance. It wasn't like, oh, we're just going to send this letter and, disinvite him to future events and let it go. No, they told them of their intent to destroy him. And then in addition to that, a political reporter at Business Insider told The Intercept that she began receiving emails as far back as April from an anonymous person. So the emails were sent from an email address, get this, creepy Alex Morse at protonmail.com. And the emails included the names and email addresses of 3 different college students who could provide information about Morse's alleged inappropriate behavior. 2 of the 3 people named in these emails, by the way, were students who have been proven to be plotting to ensnare Morse in a scandal and to destroy his candidacy with documentation dating back as far as last year, 2019. And that was verified by text messages. So this is just disturbing on so many levels. The fact that you have college students, I mean, what the hell is wrong with them? Do they not understand that if climate change isn't taken care of, if the corruption in this country isn't taken care of, it's all going to go to hell in a handbasket? So their support of and conniving to help someone like Richie Neal, one of the most corrupt and corporate-owned members in all of Congress, in all of the House and Senate, including Republicans, this is the guy they're helping. What in God's name? I mean, is it all about money, or do they actually give a shit about this country? I just don't understand. But then on top of it, you've got these people in state leadership, and this is what makes me laugh at people who claim that, oh, the Iowa caucus, the leadership there, they're totally objective and they remain neutral, and they wouldn't have helped Buttigieg with the app that helped to swing the win to him, the app that was created by the wife of his senior strategist. Oh, they wouldn't have adopted that app with any nefarious intent to push Buttigieg to the top and take votes away from Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, which is exactly what happened. You think just because people are in leadership, they're automatically good people and innocent? No, most of them rose to those positions because they're willing to step on other people's necks and stab people in the back. We're not in this situation in this country because we have one good party and one bad party. We're in this situation because the things that they come together on, the things that they agree upon, screw over the 99% like you and I. They screw over the average Americans to appease their corporate masters. And yes, I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans. It's across the board. Until we get establishment Democrats out, from Pelosi on down to people like Pete Buttigieg, who pray to their corporate masters, this shit isn't going to change. And this is why they don't give a damn if Donald Trump wins in November or Joe Biden. They don't care because they're going to continue with their slush fund coming from these corporations. People like Richie Neal don't give a damn. They get to fundraise even more because they're the, quote, resistance, when in actuality, they're actually the assistants. They seriously don't care. So liberals, I am begging you, wake up. Wake up. These people are taking you for a ride. They put on their shows with their kente cloths. They pretend to give a damn, but really look at their policies. Stop looking at their personalities. Stop looking at the rhetoric that they spew on MSNBC and CNN about Trump bad. They are the reason Trump won, in part, because they're not doing the right thing by we the people either. And people are fed up. There are millions of people in this country who are struggling right now, and have been even through the Obama years. And I was blind to it too because I was doing okay. But I recognize now there are millions of my fellow Americans out there on the right and the left who were struggling still. They were left behind. And they got sucked in by Trump's rhetoric and Trump's lies and bullshit and his populist messaging that was false. But what we do need is a true populist candidate. So this kind of stuff, is so gross. It really is. It makes me seriously want to turn away from the Democratic Party entirely. But I know that there are good people in there. There are good progressives in there who are trying to do the right thing, who don't take corporate PAC money, who are not beholden to big money interests and care about you and I. So those are the people you need to support. People exactly like Alex Morse. So I am hoping that all of you will follow my lead. All of you will go today to his campaign page and donate, even if it's $2, $5. Every little bit makes a difference and it adds up. And this is a man that we need to support. He has literally committed his entire life to public service. He became a mayor, I believe, when he was 21 years old. And these people are heinous for trying to destroy him. They didn't just try to win, they tried to destroy him. They tried to discredit him. They tried to make him out to be a predator. That is never acceptable. And in a party that claims to hold the moral high ground and support the LGBTQ community, it is just disgusting. So please join me. Please go support Alex Morse. Donate to him today. I'm going to do that. This should never be accepted. And we need to let them know that there will be a very, very strong and swift backlash to this bullshit. So as always, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching Plants and Politics. The only way to take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again.